Radio check. Radio check. Welcome, Yank. GG's for your P3. So for my faithful fans and web flixers here, this is number 600 for me. This is my 600th live broadcast race across both track and sim racing. So, big moment.
of November, I don't believe I can do the race for the divisional playoff. No, I can't, unfortunately, unless it's late, I suppose. Anyway, we'll sort that out with QT. Welcome, race fans, to the season finale, regular season finale, as we will start our sprint race today in reverse championship order as usual. So our champions with the gold effects on the rearmost cars. It's Senor Dude at the front. It's 5 lights on. And it's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Looks like soft tyres are going to be the choice of the field as heading down into turn 1 goes Liquid Gecko on the inside edge of the track and looking for that opportunity. Didn't quite make it, and then spinning out very wide goes Soul Shock right to the outside of Tequila turn 1. We go down into turn 4, the Vader drop. And into the 90 Tres twist, and several cars very much out wide as the drivers are looking to try and find a little bit of grip out here. Cold racing tyres, cold racing track. And let's have a look at this then from the back. It was super crowded through turn 3, the Vader drop, and into turn 4, 90 Tres twist. And then before we get to Woe Grizzle's rise, well, the likes of Woe Grizzle and others of the Cabbage Corp team are struggling around as we go through Beragos Bend. And then as the cars are now heading up through Stig Shadow, it is Stig himself on top, and he's managed to get the jump ahead of Senor Dude. Let's just check a replay out of that as it's all action up and down the grid. He'd already managed to find his way through here as we look at Liquid Gecko and Vader fighting over this position. How did Vader get all the way up into 4th position so early on into our race? But he'd already got the job done. It is Stig from Senor Dude, from Vader, from Liquid Gecko, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Soul Shock in 5th position as they head into Tequila turn 1. This is Vicinity racing here, and Sandra joins us, and welcome, Sandra. Good to have you, and a great result from the race earlier on. No spoilers, of course, for those who have yet to see it, but congratulations, Sandra, on your result. Nice to see Biggerwood here as well, and Vicinity fighting with 90 Tres, the Mega Racing driver, fighting against the Tamiya Racing Factory driver. And then you've got champion constructors champions, both of the Azul Racing team, Tequila Monkey and Arya, trying to find their way through as well. Tequila Monkey has made it up to 8th position. Where is Sandra's partner Arya at the moment? Surely still right at the back, almost in 13th position. So not a successful start for him, as it is all go into that final hairpin here, the Soul Shock hairpin. The corner's named today by both Tequila Monkey and his AI helper as we go through the drop. So we are looking forward. We're going to be using push to pass as well, as Tequila Monkey is spamming that button up the hill and through through Senor Dude's drift. Here we go, following closely behind and peeling out of the slipstream for a launch into the Tequila turn 1. This is only a 10-lap race, but it's all important for the championship. More about that in the break. But car 4 is up to P6, Tequila Monkey, with some great authority there in the newly gold accented Azul Racing team colours. Vicinity is in 7th position, 90 Tres is in 8th, and then back up towards the lead, it's still Stig now from Vader. 0.6 of a second is all that separates him. Let's join Vader on board as we use the overtake button. Of course, you'll see a lot of use of overtake in this short sprint race, and looking from behind, there's no danger. So this is Vader getting that slipstream, looking for an opportunity down into the Soul Shock hairpin, and he can't quite make his way through. You have to let me know what you think about the driver names, and round goes Liquid Gecko, almost on the entry into his own corner. Liquid Gecko's leap is turn 15, and struggling then to just get the rear end of the car under control and spinning. Sadly, is Liquid Gecko. Beragos is in 11th place, with Arya down in that 12th place still right now. It's still all action into the Tequila turn 1. 90 Tres working the wheel, working on Vicinity and getting the outside line through the next corner, the Curva Arya of turn 2, and getting the job done before they hit the Vader's drop of turn 3. That gives an advantage here potentially to Woe Grizzle, who's entering his own, well, he's already out of his own corner, I should say. He's now going through Beragos Bend into QT's quarter, and then round we go, and through the Bedsti Mario Bank and into the Jose Diaz Yonsao. Then it's foot to the floor all the way under Stig's shadow of the of the tunnel. Is it a bit clumsy with the corner names named after the same drivers in the same race? I don't know. But we will see. Grizzle to the outside then, sweeping round, but outbraking himself, and super late on the brakes, unfortunately for him, through the Solskjaer hairpin. It's Vader now leading the race, ahead of Stig. And Stig deposed down to second position. Senior Dude is in third, and he's got Tequila Monkey, who dives down the outside. He was looking for that opportunity to pass, and round the outside he goes. It's a vulnerable place to put yourself. They almost come into contact with each other, but Tequila Monkey with the better grip round the outside, presumably using the overtake as well, and Tequila Monkey into that third position. Very important for the championship. Obviously not as many points to fight over here in the sprint, but still the championship incredibly tight, and Tequila Monkey just needs to continue to outscore his teammate here and put himself in the best place possible for later in the main race, the feature race today. Solskjaer comes out of the Jose Diaz Yun Sao corner and underneath Stig's shadow of the tunnel. And he is locked in the slipstream here of Senor Dude, who's doing everything right but can't quite get the defense complete. Down the outside, Solskjaer. There is more grip out here, but he will exit the corner in the better racing line, and through he goes. Solskjaer out making an overtake in his own corner. Up to P4 is Solskjaer here then for the Mega Racing team. Ahead of Darkside Racing, Senor Dude. 90 Trez in 6th place. For Tamiya Racing Factory, followed by Vicinity Grizzle QT, with Arya still stuck in 11th place, and no sign of damage on the car either in this little sprint race. Arya's going to have to do the job big time in his final race for the season to try and wrest the title advantage off his teammate Tequila Monkey. Liquid Gecko's in 12th, Bedstein Mario is in 13th place, and then Jose Diaz at the bottom of the grid at the moment in 14th. But of course we will have qualifying to come for the main race. It's Vader, who started like a scolded cat off the line, and up to P4 by the end of the first sector is in the lead of our sprint. It's Stig in second place, going through Stig's shadow section as we speak, and then fighting hard we've got Solskjaer attacking Senor Dude, or is it the other way round? I think it's the other way round, and the reverse was done as Senor Dude again with a better grip on the way out of the corner, but it looks like Solskjaer has just about got the nod. You have to be careful on those white lines. It's so easy to pick up a penalty on the pit lane entry, and he manages to just get ahead here, but they will still be fighting. Solskjaer to the inside, Senor Dude to the outside. We've seen overtakes around the outside here, and Senor Dude sweeps around the outside, just leaves a car width at the inside line, allows Solskjaer some racing room to make his own arrangements, and Senor Dude back into 4th as these two continue to do battle. Hammer and tongs as they are, but Solskjaer has perhaps wasted it now, going through Grizzle's rise through turn 5, and before he gets to Beragos Bend turn 6, he has lost grip, gone outside of the racing line, and had to get out of the throttle as well. Into Jose Diaz Yun Sao we go now. Behind them we've got Vicinity leading Grizzle and QT for a hard-fought battle. This is QT on board. As we look behind, we've got a good gap to QT, so it's eyes forward here on the opportunity to try and make the overtake, and we go to the right hand of the Mega Racing car driven by Vicinity, and Grizzle already ahead but outbraking himself again. Just about holding on to that overtake was Grizzle, and into that position 6 then for Grizzle, but he did make quite a meal of the pass here. Let's have a look at that again as he looks to sweep around the outside, but he outbraked himself, had to stay on the brakes too long, but he did leave enough racing room behind him. We'll have a look, because I reckon QT will be right there on the way into turn 1, and he was level with Vicinity, but he didn't quite make the pass stick. Vader leads Stig, now Tequila Monkey in 3rd position, keeping the scoreboard ticking along is Tequila Monkey, and can now, I think, potentially finish behind his teammate and in the main race and still take the title. We will see. and I'll talk you through those title ramifications prior to the points of the sprint race in the break between quali and the race. This then is QT chasing down Vicinity, 7th place. And will we see QT go for the overtake here? He's just paying a penalty, unfortunately for him, as Beragos will then get the top speed over and above the Buckstein car, and Beragos dives down the inside into the Solshock hairpin, and through he goes. So very nicely done from Beragos, just capitalising on that penalty from QT. However, QT may be able to get the nod across here. It was a 1:27 in the Red Bull X1 Junior car. It is a 1:11 the difference in lap times here, with soft tyres, with push to pass, all happening. Still full tanks of fuel. We may still see some quicker runs in the feature race, but at the moment that's the timer, 1:11.6 by Vader, our Dark Lord of the Sith, hoping to finish this particular season strongly. This is the inaugural season of simulated virtual reality, formerly known as Super Formula, and we will be obviously making plans for our second season. There will still be the divisional playoffs still to come. It is lap 9 of 10, and QT is trying to get back that 8th position that he had earlier on. Further up in the order, we have this is Tequila Monkey looking to try and get second off the stick, but Arya having an uncharacteristically quiet day, out in 10th position. Vader has started his final lap of the sprint, so it is now or never for Tequila Monkey to make this one stick. Let's see if he's got any push to pass left. He has got a little push to pass left, but it's slightly less than his rival here, Stig, ahead, so he's going to have to do the work in the corners, especially in this first sector, as he goes through Vader's drop, 90 Tres twist, and the right-hander is Woe Grizzle's rise before you get a little tunnel section here, and then another right into Beragos bend. QT's quarter is turn 7 with Vicinity's view, and then Veds Mario bank this corner before we head down towards the all-important Jose Diaz Yunsao. Then you power down on the accelerator as quickly as possible. There's the push to pass happening for Tequila Monkey, but Vader is about to hit the hairpin already. Vader's about to complete this lap. We will see. I don't think Tequila Monkey has got the overspeed necessary. Vader then powers out of the final major turn through Liquid Gecko's leap and over Senor Dude's drift. This is a win in the final event of our championship. Vader with a near 9-second gap in a 10-lap race. Absolutely astonishing. From a reverse grid race as well. It's Stig in second. Tequila Monkey brings home third. Solshock to cross the line will get 4th place ahead of Senor Dude. And Woe Grizzle. Looks like it's going to be very hard fought between Vicinity and Beragos, and then respectively Arya getting ahead of QT on the line as well. Let's just have a look at that once again. How did that all take place? This was just powering out of the previous corner. Looked like this was Vicinity who got the drag to the line. And the same for Arya. That's holding on to your push to pass right till the very death of the race. It is 90 Tres in 11th, Liquid Gecko in 12th. We've got Mario about to come home in 13th. Jose Diaz on a quiet race here for team captain of Cabbage Corp. But let's celebrate with Vader, the feature race winner, our final feature race of the season. Great to have everybody with us, making comments, and to the people who've already liked the video, a big thank you to everybody. Just say greetings to Kim as well, and I think I've already said hi to Yank Biggerwood and to Sandra, so thank you for already watching and commenting and doing all the good stuff here for the video. But Vader is your winner of the sprint race. Remember, that was a reverse grid race as well. Vader starting 3rd from last and finishing 11 places higher. Amazing stuff from Dark Lord of the Sith. Didn't quite get fastest lap or clean race award, but that's not easily done. There's your finishing order. 1:11.6 is the fastest lap to remember for the feature race. I think we will go faster. As Yank says, una machina for Vader. Stig in second, Tequila Monkey in third, picking up great points for his championship here. Solshock in 4th and Senor Dude in 5th. Woe Grizzle in 6th. We seem to have our Canadians finishing close together today. It's quite an odd situation. Vicinity in 7th, Beragos the Finn in 8th. And then we have Arya, QT, 93, Liquid Gecko, Bedsty Mario, and our Mexican Jose Diaz in 14th place. But it's now time for qualifying pretty soon, once the lobby has been reset. And I will talk to you about the Drivers' Championship. So before Tequila Monkey came home in 3rd place in the sprint, he had a 2-point advantage over her teammate Arya in the championship. 178 plays 176. Incredible stuff. Then Vader, who used to lead the championship, don't forget, on 158 points. He'll be more than that now, of course, after the sprint race. 90 Tres is too far away to potentially get a victory of the season, but a 141 points has 90 Tres in 4th place. In 5th is Woe Grizzle on 110. Then we have a bit of a gap down to Beragos in 6th place on 89 points, ahead of QT, server owner, and owner of the lobbies as well, is on 81 points. Just lost a position to Beragos the last round out. Vicinity gained a position on Mario on 71 points. Mario 68, Jose Diaz on 66, with Stig on 65, all to play for in the midfield. We've got Soulshock on 46, Liquid Gecko on 12, and Senor Dude had 3 prior to getting that score in the sprint race. We'll be we'll be getting ready for qualifying very soon. The cars are in their pit garages here at Deep Forest Raceway in the Switzerland paddock, and getting ready for qualifying, of course. As we just try and find a car who's actually practicing and on track. It is Soulshock who is out there. The Teams Championship sees Azul Racing already champions on 354, hence the gold on their cars. Then Darkside Racing have 234, Tamiya Racing Factory 212, Cabbage Corp 182, ahead of Kimmy's Racing 160. That could change though. Mega Racing, a new team, have 115 with Buckstein Racing, the big transport service rivals, the Dutch logistics firms, huge rivals between Buckstein and Mega. There is only 8 points between them. Buckstein have 107, but are in the last position in the championship. So we'll need to inject a bit more cash into the team's coffers and maybe attract a new driver. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the divisional playoffs, of course, and what the drivers and the teams. If we have a silly season or we have a driver market change around, we will have to see. I'm sure there'll be a bidding war for the services of the likes of Nasty and Bolide Faye from the Red Bull Racing Junior X1 car division S2. We shall see. But at the moment, we are just practicing here for qualifying to begin shortly. You'll hear the klaxon sound in the paddock. And let's have your predictions, everyone who's watching. Hi to Z-Chris. Let's have your predictions, please. Who do you think is going to get pole position? Vader had the fastest lap in the race. Arya has been very quick until this race here in the sprint. So will Arya be back on top? Will Tequila Monkey be defending that championship lead that he has at the moment, which I can't exactly know for sure how many points it is, but Arya is going to have to significantly outscore. I don't think a win on its own is going to be enough out here for Arya. I just need to try and check out the points system as well, but I have lost the points system. So if any of our drivers or driver partners are watching and can remind me of the points system, I would be very, very grateful. And how many would have been picked up there for Tequila Monkey in 3rd position on the grid. It's qualifying time then for the season finale of our inaugural season here, the exclusive home of the PSVR2 racing system on GT7, as Beragos leads the drivers out, and he's already picked up a 3-second penalty for exiting the pits incorrectly. I think that will be paid here on this outlap, but we will see. It's after this corner on the long straight that incorporates the Stig Shadow section. Scavvy picking Vader for the win. So 14 to 1 points for the sprint, so that makes it, what, 12 for, that means there's a 14-point advantage minus 4, so 10-point advantage plus 2. I would think that's a 12-point advantage for Tequila Monkey, somewhere around that much for Tequila Monkey against his teammate. This then is Bedsty Mario. Let's join Mario as he's the first car on track for this lap, this first flying lap around the Deep Forest Raceway here in Switzerland. We brake heavily for the Tequila turn 1. We missed the apex a little bit and we power out again. Then we're heading into Curva Aria to the left, Vader's drop to the right, and then 90 Tres. Avoid those lumpy curbs on the inside. 90 Tres twists it through Woe Grizzle's rise and quickly followed by a similar profile Beragos bend turn 6. We're into QT's quarter and Vicinity's view. Then it's Mario's bank, and Mario gets crossed up in his own corner before we head into the Jose Diaz Yun Sao. Very wide we are out of the corner, and I think that's curtains for the lap. This is Aya heading through the Stick Shadow corner, using all of that overtake button as much as possible. You can see it glowing red bottom right of your screen. This then, the heavy braking into the Soul Shock hairpin. Again, another missed apex, but it's not always the fastest way through. Liquid Gecko's Leap is this little crest and rise before then the Senor Do drift to the left here as we touch the apex and full throttle all the way across the line. Aya on a 113.0 is beaten by Beragos immediately. Beragos out there despite that poor exit. Then we've got Mario beaten by 90 Tres in the Tamiya Racing Factory car. Who else have we got going fast? Well, Grizzle's gone into third, 9/10 of a second away from the fastest time. Still Beragos on top with a 112.393. Expect drivers to go faster than that, I dare say. This is Stig, who got the fastest lap in the feature race. No qualifying for the feature race. It was reverse championship order. We did have a very entertaining race just a few moments ago, if you are late to watching. This is then Vader going through, and he's very wide at the end of the lap. Maybe that's because he's got a lot of speed. Let's see Vader. He's starting his lap now only, excuse me for that one. Tequila Monkey. Let's follow Tequila Monkey. They've got a headwind down this long flat out section. Obviously that's a tailwind into turn 1, but a headwind into Soul Shock's hairpin, and looking to try and touch the apex. That was good from Tequila Monkey. Aya second, Tequila Monkey. This is the battle for the championship between these two, and possibly an outside bet would be Vader out there, who was third and some 20 points adrift. But if something happens between Tequila Monkey and Aya, then Vader will be there to clean up. Tequila Monkey in second position, 4/10 faster than his teammate, but 2/10 slower than Beragos. Vader is definitely on his outlap now, and heading down towards Soul Shock's hairpin. Soul Shock himself just set a new personal best. So very, very wide entry there for Vader. Seems to spend an eternity waiting to turn into the corner, but still got a good exit nonetheless. If you go over those white lines, similar to Interlagos, you will pick up a track limit penalty. Vader is again very, very wide on the exit here, and he goes up only to 11th, a poorer lap from his high standards, but maybe he's just warming up the tyres for another attack lap. Perhaps it was a little bit late braking into Soul Shock's hairpin. The wind increasing, that works the aero harder on a headwind, and of course you do end up with a very loose rear end on the way into that first corner. We're halfway through qualifying. Beragos leads Tequila Monkey, and the Stig has gone third. Great lap from the Stig overall, and he's back out there pushing hard now. You can see that push to pass button being used to good effect into Jose Diaz Yun Sao. We saw a car actually mount the inside curb through there and suffer a 1.5 second off throttle penalty, and that hurt hugely. Soul Shock's gone third. Great lap from Soul Shock through that previous lap, and then the Cosworth powered Stig goes suddenly into the pits. What is Tequila Monkey doing on the exit of the corner? Trying to get some space, I think, on his outlap at the moment. Beragos is flying And this is just his outlap too. Let's try and find you a driver who is actually pushing here. Maybe it's Aya, but just his outlap as well. Aya, the next challenge. Looking to try and get a little bit of a tow from the car in front. I think that might be a Tamiya Racing Factory car up front. He'll be sort of peering left and right of the halo device, and an absolute nightmare pit exit there from a Mega Transport car. But he gets through. Aya is currently only P5, and he needs a pole position really here to take a commanding lead in the race. Oh, that was rough. Over 90 Tres twist and into a compromised entry into Grizzle's rise, now into Beragos's bend, and it's a big penalty, I think partly because of that entry into the corner. So all to do again for Aya, into the pits and back out again very, very quickly indeed. Tequila Monkey still just hanging around here, stopping during qualifying. It's not happening for him. 6:45 on the clock of 10. This is Beragos. Very wide entry into the Tequila turn 1. He's still using the overtake button, so he's not unhappy with that lap. This is where the lap went wrong for Aya earlier on. Oh, and that was absolutely pinpoint there from Beragos. He's only 0.02 of a second slower in the first sector than even he has been before. Turning left then through the Birdstee Bank and into Jose Diaz Yunsao, and out of the corner into the Stig Shadow section. We are flat out. We are hitting that overtake button, and we are nearly 4/10 better than we've been before, but we need at least 3 of those to clear 90 Tres, who's now in second place. Vader's taken pole. A 111.7 is close to his fastest lap in the race with a lighter fuel load. Vader on top at the moment, but what can Beragos do? It's not bad on the way out of the Soul Shock hairpin. Still a plenty of work to do. Pulls left close to the pit lane, and it's faster. It's faster than Vader. It's 0.3 clearer. 111.4 is Beragos from Vader's. Excuse me. From Vader's time, 0.3 of a second away, absolutely clean there for Vader. 90 Tres is in third place, championship contenders. Tequila Monkey in 5th, and Aya a lot further back. Where is Aya? In 9th place at the moment. Let's join Aya. This is really important for our championship. Clear track behind, clear track in front. Full pelt down, and it's a personal best time by 8.5 of a second. He needs almost twice that to get pole position, but he just needs a bit more to make a respectable starting grid position. He's 11 thousandths away from 8th, but he won't be happy with that. He needs to be in the top 5 and certainly no further away than that. Tight on the entry into Senor Dude's Drift. Full throttle to the line for Aya, and he goes third. Aya at the end of the session, he's got 1 minute clear, and I don't think he'll get round for another lap. Aya in third position, no better will be his start position, as now Vader pushing hard. We'll see Vader through into his second sector, shall we? This is the Birdstee Bank, followed by Jose's Yunsao. Out of that corner we go, and then it's just flat out. The straight line, don't touch any barriers because they will suck your lap time away. It is nearly 1/4 of a second better, and that is right on the bubble of the potential pole position. There's a lot of slow cars going into the hairpin in his eye line. It's not great for Vader, but I think everything's okay. I think he's clear. He's got the opportunity now to stay left. Shortest possible run to the line. That's a lot of steering input going on for Vader. That's almost touching the barrier. Vader from second position, and it's pole by 0.157 of a second. Vader taking pole position. We know, I don't think Aya's going to do it, is he? Here in third place. Let's watch him across the line. Any better from Aya? No, it's Vader, Beragos, Aya ahead of teammate Tequila Monkey, and then 90 Tres still pushing on his final lap. That's a car disappearing into the pit lane ahead of him. This is the final push lap, I think, from 90 Tres. Can he do better than 5th? This is super tight here. Vader is no joke, says Yank. That was special at the top of the order. Vader from Beragos, from Aya from Tequila Monkey, but 90 Tres with a lot to say about that just yet. heavily down on the brakes into the final braking position there. That is Solshock's hairpin, Liquid Gecko's leap. We go over the crest, and then it is flat out through Senor Dude's drift here on the left, under the helicopter, and we can't finish the lap, and that's frustrating as hell. Okay, it's a 111.327, 90 Tres, timed out despite not crossing the line, and we'll start that 5th position. But between those two drivers, we've got Beragos in 2nd, Aya in 3rd, Tequila Monkey in 4th, 90 Tres in 5th, with QT in 6th and the Stig in 7th, our Dutch pairing. Then we've got Solshock in 8th for Canada. Then it's Bedsti Mario, it's Senor Dude, it's Vicinity in 11th, Will Grizzle in 12th, Jose Diaz in 13th, and Liquid Gecko in 14th. We will be back with the live race in 4 minutes time for those of you who are watching live with us. For anybody watching post Tuesday, hopefully I've been able to edit this out for you, but we will be back with comms. I will take a drink because my throat gave out there in just a few moments time. Just a mention for Biggerwood. Are you able to try and give me live championship standings during the race, do you think? Or post, just in the chat, possibly post race quick update for provisional scores. If not, someone else, if you're quick with your maths and you know the point system inside out, don't forget to allocate points for the sprint result. Thanks so much. I cannot do it while I'm commentating. Thanks, Biggerwood. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, any live radio from QT and Stig would be great too. If Sandra's got any inside info on team orders or team situation for Hazel Racing, that would also be very much appreciated. Who else do I see in team radio? Boladay is in the Mega Racing radio engineering for the top drivers. Yanks in Buckstein radios as well, I see. Yeah, give us radio if you can, guys. If it's broadcastable and doesn't give anything away. About 2 minutes to go, folks. 2 minutes to go. Oh, you can't have two engineers in the same radio room, surely, unless you're one-to-one and going against each other and working each other's strategies out on the fly. That'd be great. Countdown begins for the season finale here. 35 laps await. Okay, it's time for the season finale, round 11 of the SVR inaugural Top Division Championship. It's 5 lights on, and it's drop the clutch, and go, go, go. Vader away well, Beragos slow, but it's Aya straight up into second position with the launch and the overtake button hitting fast. Into second position goes Aya, fighting for this championship against Tequila Monkey, and Vader with an outside chance. There's a wide drift there from 90 Trez, who loses positions as well, but it's Aya, the best of the championship contenders initially away from the start, and now Tequila Monkey with a lot of work to do. Aya on the medium tyres, so is Vader. Beragos on the soft, and he was away slow, amazingly. It's the Stig who's just promoted himself to 4th position at the expense of Tequila Monkey, who's also on the medium tyres. Very similar strategy for our 3 main championship contenders, with Solshock in 6th, 90 Trez in 7th, Mario's down in 8th, with Vicinity in 9th, Senor Dude is 11th right now, but he's got Woe Grizzle he's between the two Cabbage Corp cars, and he's in 11th position. Jose Diaz just ahead, and they go side by side, sparking underneath the tunnel. And that was a move, was it, from Woe Grizzle down the inside, and it looked like his teammate was trying one on as well. It didn't quite work for Jose Diaz, but it did for Woe Grizzle, up to 11th position, with Senor Dude then with the ability to fight back hard here. Liquid Gecko watches on, but it looks like it's going to be Senor Dude following in the wheel tracks here, pulls to the inside of the Canadian Cabbage Corp driver, and goes for the move down into Tequila turn 1 ahead of them. Jose Diaz was looking for it, and that was a bit of a Verstappen line there for Senor Dude, but thankfully Woe Grizzle able to avoid it. Did the cutback like seemingly no F1 driver has thought to do yet, and he manages to rescue that position back. It's Cabbage Corp 10th and 11th. Let's go back up to the lead then, as Vader is trying to pull a gap. He's only half a second ahead here of Aya, who is trying to save all of his performance for the final round of the season and try and learn his lessons from the start of the sprint race. It didn't go his way, but he's in second position now, and he's looking back to Tequila Monkey. Aya with the best sector of the race so far on the grid, and into second position he is, half a second away. Beragos down to 3rd position. Tequila Monkey showing no signs of being able to pass the Stig just yet, but those drivers ahead of him, Beragos and Stig, on the soft tyres, hardly a surprise to see him still unable to make a move. But at the moment it's Vader and Aya who are leading us away. Beragos staying with them, but he will fade earlier and pit earlier too, I would imagine. But starting on the option tyre, it is soft and medium that are required today. You can hear the overrun of the engine as they're off throttle into the slower corners here. Aya in second place then, less than 6/10 away from the lead of and the winner of the sprint race, pole position holder Vader, who himself is in his own fight here. I think Tequila Monkey is too far away in points for Vader to try and battle, but he's doing everything that's in his power, which is to lead this race. This is Beragos on board with him in the Kimmis Racing Team colours as he looks for that slipstream on Aya's car, on the Azul Racing Team car. We look to the left, we go side by side. Both sides of the racetrack tend to work okay. It's a cutback attempt here from Beragos. It's very early on the power as he uses the overtake button once again, following in the wheel tracks of Aya, who held on for a moment there, but he's got better traction coming out of the corner. Has Beragos looks for the outside line. Aya quite keen to hand him that outside line. He might switch. He does switch to the inside line, and he's going to brake super late, but Aya leaving a really good gap to the inside line of the Tequila turn 1, and holding on for now at least, and into the tight, twisty and technical section of this racetrack. It's very difficult to make a pass here, and if you do try it, quite often it goes wrong, especially through the double right hand section under the tunnel, and they go into the Bedsti Mario bank and through into Jose's Yonsao. And it is Aya who is losing time here, 1.1 seconds now, because he is looking in his mirrors, having to launch a defence, I suppose, on Beragos, who is less than a quarter of a second away. This is Beragos with the overspeed. He's got the inside line open to him. Aya quite happy to give him that, but Beragos down at the inside, and maybe Aya will be better on the medium tyres, following a faster car here and using Beragos to punch a hole in the air and chase on around to Vader. But Aya wasting no time trying to get this position back. Doesn't want to allow to have to run in Beragos's wheel tracks. Aya to the outside. He was quick around this outside line earlier on, but Beragos has got better grip in the mid part of the corner, side by side into these corners. This is dangerous for our drivers, and just because Beragos yielded to the corner did Aya hold on. He might still be spat out into the barrier under the tunnel, but no, Aya holds on once again. But they will be losing time here to Vader overall. Thankfully, due to that bit of slipstream leapfrogging they managed to do, they are still doing okay with regard to Vader's lead. Aya just opens the door into the Jose Yonsao and allows Beragos through. Let's follow Beragos then. Was it just a momentary lapse there from Aya? Look for this next corner. The door is open actually. Beragos goes straight in, and Aya has to make his own arrangements to the outside. Beragos launching through, and then it's Aya back past again onto the Solskjaer hairpin. These two are certainly quite happy to run wheel to wheel and almost shaving the paint off the tyres there with one another. Beragos back in front, defending towards the inside line here. Aya going for that inside line, unfamiliar territory for Aya down the inside, and he retakes the position just about, but again Beragos well away from the exit of turn one. Are these two going to be absolutely intent to destroy my voice for what's left of it today? That's a personal best sector there for Beragos. He needs that slipstream on the back of Vader, who does appear is not able to live with quite the pace of Beragos when he has his own way. I think Aya for now is going to play this one calmly. He's 2 places only in front of his teammate Tequila Monkey, who is still in that 5th position, unable to mount a challenge on the back of the Berkestein driver Stig, who's on the softer tyres. And next up we've got Beragos actually almost looking, well, certainly starting to have a look down into the mirrors of Vader. It looks like Vader unable on this particular run. I wonder if Vader spent quite a bit of boost. He has in fact spent some boost, and now Beragos able to use the slipstream. Will we see a change for the lead for the first time in this feature race season finale? To the outside goes Beragos with the fastest sector, as then Vader puts on the squeeze in towards the braking zone, perfectly within the limits of acceptability, as Beragos goes for the cutback again. He's gone side by side with Aya through this section before. Who's going to emerge on top through this sector? That's absolutely incredible. Biggerwood says he didn't record the results of the sprint. Okay, Vader won. Tequila Monkey in 3rd place. Aya, I think, got home 9th or 10th. I'm going to go with 10th, but I'm sure Sandra can correct that if I got that wrong. I think it actually might have been 9th. So it would have just been a small amount of points, 4 or 3 points, something like that. But as Sandra says, what a battle at the front. Beragos still just half a second away from Vader. That is within range, but I think Vader with a better exit out of the Yonsao corner and towards then the hairpin named for Soul Shock is that hairpin. Then into Liquid Gecko's leap we go, and it's lap 7 of 35, and this is absolutely nose to tail stuff, especially at the front of our race. I don't think Beragos is going to be in range here. It is Aya 3rd, it's the Stig ahead of Tequila Monkey, still in 5th place. 93 is in 6th, with Soul Shock in 7th position. Further back, we've got Mario in 8th, with Woe Grizzle for Cabbage Corp in 9th place. Coming through out of the final bend is Vicinity in 10th. Liquid Gecko some distance away actually at the moment, down in 11th place, some 22 seconds away from the lead. QT comes through in 12th place, Senor Dude in 13th, and Jose Diaz at the back, as he was in the feature race. I think this track, not one of Jose Diaz's favourites, you'd have to say, but I think fairly new medium tyres, so I think he's pitted early on. So that was a trip through the grid, but all the action still very much at the front, and potentially for Tequila Monkey mounting a challenge for 4th place here. It is, though, all eyes on Vader, who was 3rd in the championship. Oh wow, that was so late for Aria on the brakes. As we look for the Stig and Tequila Monkey challenging here. Stig holding on to 4th place, still got the traction advantage on those soft tyres, but that will die out pretty quickly. The drivers on the medium tyres will have the advantage with the fueling, because they can run long and light and then fit the least amount of fuel on the soft tyres and be even quicker. We're looking for a 1:11.6 to beat the fastest lap of the feature rate of the sprint race. I think that was a 1:11.6 by Vader. And Vader is still not getting away from these two. Beragos, remember, on the soft tyre, and really could do with taking the lead and building a bit of a gap, because whatever happens in the pit stops, he's going to fall behind these two. They're both on the medium tyre. However, both strategies will probably want to be on the medium tyre for as long as possible. So you may often end up seeing the drivers pitting at roughly half distance. It depends how long into the race our soft tyres will go. Of course, at a disadvantage thanks to running on full tanks of fuel. Beragos, though, has never been closer to Vader than he is right now. Heading through the final corner, Senor Dude's drift he goes. It looks like just losing a little bit of performance, perhaps due to setup differences. Arya from behind is no threat into the Tequila turn 1. Beragos, this is dive bomb territory, but it's not quite enough. He's so quick through that corner, though. On the exit, he really gives up the speed on the entry and can absolutely power out. Look at these three drivers separated by 0.6 of a second total. Absolutely incredible stuff. There is Beragos, another strong first sector, the strongest we've seen so far in the race. And he has definitely got the visor down today. He loves racing with these championship contenders. This season hasn't gone all his own way, but on his day, Beragos, he's almost unbeatable with his pace. The Flying Fin helmet he has in honour of Mika Hakkinen, 2-time F1 world champion, and channeling that, and of course car number 33 on the car as well. So clearly doing his best here to take Kimi's racing team as far forward as they can, and certainly it seems to be the best of our newly sponsored teams has been at the moment Kimi's racing team. It is Vader ahead by just half a second. Beragos in the middle of these three drivers, with Arya 0.4 of a second only back, and Arya with a really good run out of the corner goes for the inside line. Beragos' tyres finally starting to drift and dip in performance, not according to that particular trip through the first corner, Tequila's turn 1. That is Arya moving around dangerously in the corners. He picked up a penalty running through turn 4's 90 Tres twist there with the right angled apex curbs. That if you touch those, you're picking up a big penalty for track cutting. And again, Arya just a little bit slower through that sector. So Beragos on the tyres, nearly 50% limit has gone, as Victoria is cheering on Woe Grizzle. Good to have you with us, Victoria. As Woe Grizzle currently P8 right now. Vader, 0.6 of a second is his lead, and it is lap 11. We're working towards the end of the peak performance and operational range of the soft tyres, but it's a question of whether we are in one-stop territory for the mandatory pit stop to change compound or not yet. I think not yet, for the medium tyre window is not open. I think that the drivers will be wanting to try and get through to lap 14 or 15 and leave around 20-21 laps on the medium max if they can help it. Running out in the cloud of dirt given off by Vader is Beragos. And while they run through this section, let's have a look at we've got Stig versus Tequila Monkey. Tequila Monkey looking for that inside line. Remember, Stig on the soft tyres, and that is perhaps why Tequila Monkey is starting to consider pouncing now. Tequila Monkey is nearly 8 seconds adrift of the lead of this race, and that will be important later on, barring any crucial mistakes between the group. We've got Soulshock in 6th, a little bit on his own. as is Mario and Woe Grizzle in 8th. Further back in 9th vicinity, ahead of 90 Trez, ahead of QT in 11th. Liquid Gecko in 13th, Senior Dude in 13th and 14th. Vader then down into the hairpin named for Solshock. And again, Beragos with a really good exit. And he's managing these tyres brilliantly. Still on the soft tyre, but into the pits goes Beragos now at the end of lap 12. And I think that is a little bit ahead of what is a comfortable pit stop. The first of the soft starters to pit now is Beragos. Stig comes straight in as well. And there is Mario then, who's going to take a position. So Beragos and Stig into the pits, onto the medium tyre, looking for the big undercut. They'll be coming out on fresh mediums, but they can't abuse them too much because they have got a long distance still to race. They've also got to fuel up for the end of this, to the end of the race. If they're going to try and one-stop this race, it's going to be a long slog on the medium for those drivers. So we will, I think, see quite a way to go here. Olaf is cheering on Beragos. I think that's Oliver from S2. And 90 Trez then in that 10th position. So we have our 3 championship contenders in reverse order in the podium positions. Vader is 3rd in the championship, as far as I'm aware anyway, and is now in P1. We've got Arya 2nd in the championship in P2, and Tequila Monkey, our champion-elect and sprint race extraordinaire, coming 3rd from the back of the grid in that 3rd place at the moment, and I think doing enough to secure the championship as things stand, but it won't be comfortable just yet, and it's not over, of course, until the checkered flag flies. We've got Vader leading the race by 1.4 seconds now as Woe Grizzle pits off the soft tyres too. This is Solshock as Beragos has come out of the pits and has managed to get past Solshock. Let's have a look at Beragos then. This is Beragos' outlap on new medium tyres, and diving down, I think the inside line he went, and equal on the brakes to the apex, but much better and earlier getting the power down for Beragos on those all new medium tyres. Now if they're going to go for a fastest lap, this will be a good time, but they've also got to get the car home on tyres and fuel, so they can't abuse the car too much, and it's a careful balancing act for these early stoppers. They tried to use the advantage of the soft tyre at the start of the race, and it definitely worked for Beragos. Not sure who else it's really worked for. Mario is in 6th place, still on his starting medium tyres. I think these mediums are going to go really long into the race, and the drivers on the softs will be in a good place later on. Let's have a look further back. We've got the Stig fighting with Vicinity, moving around in the braking zone is Vicinity. Stig using the middle of the road there. Solshock pits off his soft tyres after 14 laps. That will open the window at lap 21 for the medium starters then, potentially, maybe even lap 20, because they'll be running on lighter fuel loads. It's the Stig in P8 looking for, sorry, this is Vicinity in P8, looking for an opportunity to take Stig's place away. And again, trying to find that opportunity. Let's ride on board through this terrifying section of Deep Forest Raceway. That's the 90 Trez twist into Woe Grizzle's rise, and it looks like the Bugstein driver in front getting Woe Grizzle's rise wrong. Easy for me to say. Beragos Ben dealt with, then it's QT's quarter, Vicinity's view, and Bedstey's bank. Next up, the Jose Diaz Yonsao corner. Looking for a classic racing line here from Vicinity and some use of the overtake button, but tempted to hold that overtake button down a little bit longer. And through the Stig shadow, this section, before the Solshock hairpin looms. Heavy braking soon to come as well. This, I think, one of the closest battles on the grid. We'll just run through to find that one bit further back, shall we? As well, Grizzle's in 10th, Senor Dude is in 11th, Liquid Gecko, QT in 13th, Jose Diaz picks up a penalty. Unfortunately, this is then the battle at the front of the grid. Half a second. Looks like Vader's just given up a bit of performance there. Let's have a, just compare their tyre wear. It's identical, but Arya has used less fuel than Vader. Vader has been a little bit richer on the mix. Has been shifting at optimal positions. I imagine Aya's been short shifting a little bit here. So down into the hairpin we go. It is again Vader struggling for grip on the way in the mid corner of the hairpin, through Liquid Gecko's leap and into Senor Dude's drift, the final part of those left-handers. Half a second between our two race contenders here. Aya, on several occasions through the season, has had the race all to himself. I think back to the Nürburgring as one of his very best examples of just alien pace this season, Aya. But I don't think it's going to be enough as things stand against teammate Tequila Monkey to try and take this inaugural title. There will only ever be one first champion of SVR, and that makes this all the more important for the drivers to be the first name among listed champions in seasons to come. This is the Azul Racing Team car, already champions of the Constructors title, so the team will not be getting involved with this battle between Aya and Tequila Monkey. 0.6 of a second only between the two of them, and they are already on lap 17, coming up to lap a driver. I think that's Jose Diaz in front, and I wonder if Aya is considering pitting slightly ahead of Vader. But he needs to get through to lap 19 at the earliest, I think, preferably lap 20 for the soft tyres, but he'll be pitting the opposite of what Vader does, I feel sure. Still then, the closest battle on the grid at the moment, and it's for the biggest prize between P1 and P2. Aya's car 14 against Vader, driver of Darkside Racing and team captain. Not every team captain is the fastest driver in their team, but Vader absolutely is, and has been flying this season at various points. Hasn't had the consistency of a Tequila Monkey or an Aya, but when he's hot, he is really, really hot. He is lava hot, you might say, Vader. So that's just only still 0.7 of a second. Vader will be picking up a tow from Jose Diaz in a moment. Is that a hint of a pit stop coming? No, just different lines through the final corner. Senor Dude's drift. There you go. Still no threat of a move coming here from Aya, but they are still very close indeed. Tequila Monkey is nearly 11 plus seconds away from teammate Aya, but it will still only be a small amount of points between them. Beragos is in fourth and catching Tequila Monkey now. Remember, Beragos should be featuring in the battle for the podium come the end of the race. Mario in fifth for Kimi's Racing Team, currently fourth and fifth. Then we have 90 Trez in sixth place. Behind them, Soul Shock and the Stig, with Vicinity crossing the line in ninth place right now, just past the halfway point of our race. Woe Grizzle is in 10th, Senor Dude in 11th place, and Liquid Gecko in 12th. I think the soft window is pretty much open now for the drivers if they want to stretch it. Liquid Gecko in 12th, QT in 13th, and Jose Diaz in 14th place. He has just been lapped, Jose Diaz, just past the halfway point of our race by Vader, and that has cost Aya a little bit of time. No pit stops coming yet though from the front pairing. We'll have a look down the grid for the first pitter from the medium starters. I think there's a lap or two's life left in these medium tyres. There's plenty of fuel on the car as well. I don't think the drivers are going to be fuel limited here in the Deep Forest Raceway. We try and make it so that they are fuel limited. They have to do a little bit of conservation or put a tiny amount of fuel in at the pit stop. But this circuit seems to be fairly kind to the drivers. I think it's that twisty section in Sector 1 that they can't spend a lot of time on throttle. But we also have a slightly shorter feature race than we're used to as well, thanks to having a sprint race today. Well, it looks like the photographer there, trackside, has got enough pictures of Arya. Wasn't interested, didn't even have the camera up as Arya came through. Tequila Monkey is being caught by Beragos. It's now just 1.2 seconds, the gap here. Beragos will be hoping Tequila Monkey pits before he has to worry about making a pass. Remember, Beragos' gap, only 14 seconds, which is right on the bubble here for a pit stop window for the drivers in front at the head of the field. So the gap here, I think Beragos is doing enough to actually take the lead of the race come pit stop time. And that will be quite something. He'll be trying to defend the lead potentially on old medium tyres against fresher soft tyres right at the end. But he's putting in some laps here. 13.6, 13.8, 14.1 since his pit stop. They're not top times. Beragos has the fastest lap of 13.0, and he's even quicker this lap than the quickest times we've seen. But we did see a 111.6 in the sprint race, thanks to the using the overtake and the soft tyres at the head of the broadcast today. But P4 for Beragos at the moment, 1.2 seconds, just tiny amount too far away here to pick up the toe from the car in front. 90 Trez on his own in 5th. We've got Soulshock and the Stig still fighting over 6th place now. Where is Tequila Monkey? Tequila Monkey in 3rd place, waiting for Beragos to launch an attack shortly, I think. It's right on board with the Stig as we're closing in 0.4 of a second here. Stig under his own Stig shadow corner, dives to the outside. Oh dear me, that was completely missed braking zone. That almost looked like a mechanical problem there, possibly a long brake pedal. Let's see that from trackside, because that was pretty dramatic on board. But let's see what it looks like as we get here. It was a disconnection for the Stig. He hits the pits. In fact, did anybody else just see that? His helmet disappeared from the car, so he clearly lost connection to the server and disappeared on us. Mechanical issues do affect sim racing broadcasts, no doubt at all. 2.2 seconds is the gap at the front. 1 second only is the gap between 3rd and 4th position. I think there's a car in between them. There is. No, there was, and it's no longer. It was Jose Diaz being lapped. It's still waiting on those pit stops, and they are spending a long time on that medium tyre. The gap still, from the lead to Beragos, 14.2 seconds. And Beragos, I think, is still the fastest guy on track at the moment. Vader did put in a 13.5 and a 13.3 2 laps ago, but Beragos is quicker at this stage on his newer medium tyres. The best race tyre, no doubt, here on the Super Formula cars. It's lap 23 of 35. With not long to go now in our season finale. This is deciding the finishing order, of course, of the championship, and then the bottom drivers of this division and the top drivers of S2 will do battle in the end of season playoff, which is still to come. Scheduled for 10th of November. I don't know if it will go ahead on the 10th or it'll be the week later perhaps. But Beragos now under a second for perhaps the first time here against Tequila Monkey. And hitting VMAX shortly, certainly full throttle, 0.4 of a second, slower than his very best. Heavy braking then into the hairpin. Arya has pitted ahead of Vader, so look for Beragos to get to overtake Arya here in the pits, and then Arya's going to have some work to do. This is actually suiting Arya pretty well to get a little bit of a tow here off the back of Arya's teammate Tequila Monkey and champion-elect, as Arya is exiting the pits. Beragos will be challenging Arya to the inside. Beragos will hope to make the overtake while he's got those warmer up to temperature tyres, and we've got Arya absolutely trying to nail this one. The first sector relies on that tyre temperature very heavily. He's got the initial bite here, Arya, on the soft tyres, but they're cold at this stage of the race. Will Beragos be able to launch an attack here on this lap? This is the best opportunity Beragos is going to have as Aya gets to follow his teammate as well, who will be doing him no favours at all because they've won the Constructors' Championship, and he needs the points over his teammate. He hasn't got the pace on the feature race of his teammate at the moment, has Tequila Monkey, but he's giving up the slipstream here, and he'll be heading into the pit soon, as Vader has just done. Will we see Vader stay out in front? Will we see Aya be able to take the lead of the race here against Vader? He's got the great slipstream on his teammate. Will his teammate make life easy for him? He pulls to the inside for car 14. Vader is coming out of the pits just ahead of this group. And Aya switch on the outside. The two make contact as Vader is a little clumsy on the entry. Well held from Aya. What a hold there from our second place championship holder. Let's look at this one from Aya's perspective as he comes into the Tequila turn 1. Vader was very late on the brakes and just held on, did Aya, to take the lead of this race on lap 25. Aya in front, and now it's Tequila Monkey battling hard with Vader. No, this is still Aya battling with Vader. Vader on the initial run here. He's got the red light on the engine cover. Vader's got the green light on the engine cover, and they go under stick shadow. Aya to the inside, doesn't want to give up the inside line here into the Soul Shock hairpin. It looked like Tequila Monkey was about to lose the car into the back of Beragos. What a battle we have in store here. All the top four have now pitted. This is for the podium. This is for bragging rights throughout the off-season as Aya sticks on the inside line, and they touch wheels on the approach into Tequila turn 1. Aya holds on to the inside line, but Vader should have the better drive out of the corner. Side by side they go once again, and it is so dangerous into this next complex to run side by side. Aya is going to have to yield. Surely no, he goes around the outside through Woe Grizzle's rise, and into the wall goes Aya, and just held on too long onto the car. Let's just see that one again for Aya. He was competitive all the way through, but eventually the right-hand turns paid dividends here. That was very, very tight for the two of them. Goes to the outside, runs out of room, overspeed at the corner, and loses position. Thankfully didn't hit the wall too hard, Aya, that time round, but Vader leads now by 1.4 seconds, and Aya will be battered, will be a little bit bruised of ego, and is going to be feeling pretty frustrated by that. He's also in a vulnerable position behind from Beragos. He's got to collect himself now. Got to keep those soft tyres alive to the end of the race and try and bring this Super Formula car home and get the best result possible. But it is virtually certain that without a win, he will not be able to overcome Tequila Monkey's point haul at current time. Provisional point haul, of course. We can have stewards inquiries. Aya might have a complaint about Vader's driving. Vader may well have a complaint about Aya's driving through that sector. Hopefully both drivers will just be smiling and considering that incredibly hard and tough racing. No harm, no foul potentially between the two of them. That's probably how I would call it at this stage. We want to see wheel-to-wheel banging. We want to see drivers on the edge and rescuing drifts and spins and catching these incredibly lively cars. This is the top three then. Vader, Aya, Beragos. 3 seconds separating the top three in total. We have just a few laps to go now. We're in the dying embers of our 11 race season. Tequila Monkey's in 4th place, having pitted now, and he's out on the soft tyres. And it is 90 Trez who has the fastest lap of 112.887. Vader's just taking it at 112.0. Crazy stuff. Zekris says, great fight back from Woe Grizzle. He's in 6th. 90 Trez is just ahead of him, though. That is Woe Grizzle heading into the Soul Shock hairpin. Then behind him, we have Mario. Oh, someone's just picked up a penalty. I think that's Jose Diaz with the Visit Mexico sign on the back of his rear wing. Vicinity is in 8th. We have Soul Shock heading in towards his own hairpin here, and Senor Dude in 10th. QT is in 11th place. Liquid Gecko is in 12th. Just about to, well, no, he's got to go around a whole lap and pay that penalty off. As Gecko. Jose Diaz at the back of the grid. Of course, we lost the stick, sadly, earlier on. Jose Diaz picking up not his first blue flag of the day. But you'll forgive me for focusing on this tight battle at the lead of the race because it involves our championship contenders. It's really important for that championship. I think ultimately, despite Vader winning potentially both races today, I think it is not going to be enough to overhaul Tequila Monkey's points total by the end prior to any stewards' inquiries. That was a good lap though from Arya. That was personal best from him, a 1:11.9. Vader just put in a 1:11.8, and now our lap times are dropping as these soft tyres are very happy. The fuel is low. 1:11.6 is still Vader's target to beat his own fastest lap from the sprint race, but they don't actually count for anything other than bragging rights, of course, which are very, very important in between race days in SVR. Vader 2.3 seconds ahead of Arya, who has himself a 3.4 second lead over Beragos. And the gap's now opening slightly. We may see some mistakes towards the end of the race as the soft tyres let go. But for now, we are seeing fastest lap attempts, I think, at this stage. So Grizzle, I'm looking for any close battles on the grid, but none appear at the moment. Mario is putting in a personal best time here at the moment in 7th place. Lots of drivers already having to use their boost so far. This is Soul Shock, only 1.3 seconds away from vicinity. Heading round the Jose Diaz Yonsal and into the Stig Shadow section of the racetrack. Getting the slipstream is Soul Shock. Getting that gap down to 1.1 through the mid-corner of his own hairpin. Really appreciate everyone who's already liked the video today and subscribed to the channel. Don't forget, you bring your friends in, and you can always leave the races on repeat or the playlist on repeat in the off-season and help my watch time hours accrue. Senior Dude is in 10th place, following those two who have just got very close indeed. The Mega Transport teammates, Vicinity and Soul Shock. Will they fight hard or will they let things go easy? Well, Soul Shock got past Vicinity fairly straightforwardly there. Have another look at this. And this is Vicinity in car 42. Hasn't got the red number on the red left number on the pairing. Looks like he just led his teammate through quite easily. Saw it was his teammate and decided to allow him through rather than put them both in the barrier. And his team will be happy with that. Stormtrooper helmet for Senior Dude, which means he'll probably miss everything. QT is in 11th. Behind him, we've got a big battle here. Is that Liquid Gecko? That's being lapped by our leader, Vader. And Vader certainly uncompromising through the Jose Diaz Yonsal, just forcing Liquid Gecko to avoid or crash. Vader is very keen to hold on to his advantage here. This is Liquid Gecko, I think very distracted by those blue flags, and going to allow Arya through. Almost takes out Arya into the race. That was very loose. That's the cost of getting into the marbles through there. That was really dramatic from him. Again, out on the dirt. He's picked up a lot of dirt and dust on the tyres. Tries to get the power down and loses the car. And, almost crashing Arya out of the race. And that was pretty dramatic there. This is Arya, as Vader is making another pass now on a Buckstein car. And that's QT being lapped. Vader around the outside of the Bedstey bank and into the Jose Yonsal. And you've got Arya coming through in a much better position to follow QT and pick up the slipstream. QT's going to blend the throttle, not really give a lot of slipstream over to Arya, unfortunately for him. Under the Stig Shadow and heading down towards Soul Shock's hairpin we go. And Vader leads by 1 clear second ahead of Arya with 3 laps to go, plus a few yards left on this particular one. Second place for Arya. Vader doing everything he possibly can to take either the lead of the championship or second place away from Arya come the end. He may well be able to overcome Arya's lead, but I don't think either of them are going to be able to do what's necessary here to try and beat Tequila Monkey, who has one hand very much on the title. If he got a disconnection now, we would be in a different situation. But for now, it looks okay for Tequila Monkey in 4th place. Beragos's pace on the medium tyre has dropped dramatically. He's on low fuel mode. Beragos running low on fuel, it seems, for Kimi's racing team. Looks like the team didn't do their calculations perfectly. Tequila Monkey 2 is also on fumes, and it's a little bit early to be in that situation. How much fuel has Vader got? He's got just a pixel or 2 on my screen less than Arya. Overtake, still plenty of overtake available, but dare Vader actually use that come the end? Tequila Monkey has the fastest lap, and it is faster than the sprint race. We are entering the penultimate lap now, lap 34. And Arya has a gap of 0.7 of a second. Beragos is going to be super tight on fuel to do 2 more laps of the Deep Forest Raceway like this. And it's going to be a similar situation for Tequila as Vader leads us away here, kicks out the dirt. Can Vader hold on? Or will Arya be able to get the win at the season finale here and possibly be our most often victorious driver? I almost said winningest, but I hate that with a fiery passion, that term. But you know what I mean. 0.7 of a second for Arya is all the gap is to Vader ahead as he picks up the slipstream, and it gets down to 0.5 seconds. Trying to get the apex and a clean exit as Vader is out on the dirt again. This is what 0.6 of a second looks like. We are round to start the final lap of the season. Vader hugging that line on the pit wall to try and discourage the tow from his rival. 0.5 second between the 2 contenders for victory today and the contenders for 2nd and 3rd in the championship as well. And that's Arya just outside of the white lines, but it seems like that's okay by race control at the moment. All to play for here. The W at the end of the season to finish on a high is what the drivers are going for. They are low on fuel. They are okay, but not great on their tyres. How are Beragos and Tequila Monkey doing? Well, if Beragos gets home without entering low fuel mode, I will be very, very surprised. Out of Jose Diaz Yonsal through the stick shadow for the final time under the mist and shadows of the tunnels, heading down towards the end. It looks like Vader with the overtake button has managed to open the gap sufficiently. It looks like it's going to be a double victory today in the season finale event for Vader, a sprint and a feature. Here he goes, the Dark Lord of the Sith on top at the end of season 1. Vader wins the feature race of Deep Forest Raceway, and Arya finishes spinning across the line in 2nd place. Beragos, really good consistent run here. Given the inconsistency we saw with our drivers at the start of the season, this race has been absolutely exemplary. Tequila Monkey, by my count, and I will update the comments later when I know, but by my count is the champion. I believe. Yellow flag is here, but 93 doesn't care. Across the line for 93 in 5th place. He has had some great results this year too. Woe Grizzle for Cabbage Corp, car number 11 with the Canadian flag on the back. This is Woe Grizzle then to bring home the Cabbage Corp car in 6th place. I think Mario, we'll see who ends up with the best amount of boost at the end of this one. Mario versus Soulshock. Soulshock, and it was very close at the line. And it's going to be Soulshock in 8th. Bedsty Mario ahead by 600ths of a second. Vicinity in 9th and Senior Dude in 10th. The rest of the drivers have already crossed the line. Vader, your winner. I believe it means that Tequila Monkey finishes this season on top of our inaugural SVR. That's pole position, clean race. Vader with the victory, and I think possibly also with the fastest lap. No, it went by way of Tequila Monkey, fastest lap of the day, a 111.512. Vader, I Baragos your podium. I believe our champion is Tequila Monkey in 4th with 90 Trez in 5th. We know that the Azul Racing team in the top division are champions already. Mario is in 7th. Soulshock is in 8th. Appreciate that from Z. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing on your way out. We've got Vicinity in 9th, Senior Dude in 10th, QT in 11th, Liquid Gecko in 12th. Jose Diaz brought the car home in 13th, and we had a DNF from the Stig, sadly. But that was our first season. We will update you and let you know, but the surest way to see the season finale, the divisional playoff, will be to subscribe to the channel. But thanks to everybody for all the engagements this season. Hopefully we will be back with more next season for SVR. New drivers, new challenges, maybe even new cars, we shall see. But from us here at SVR, from everybody involved, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next race day.